Hey guys, Joshua Basel here, founder of Copywriter Marketer and also author of the #1 best-selling program on helping writers to get clients and to create a great lifestyle from their business. Today I want to talk about the #1 thing you need to do to create wealth as a writer. This is the single most important factor in your writing business. If you get this right, then you can succeed. If you get this wrong, then it impacts every aspect of your business. And I just cannot tell you how much frustration I have seen this particular point cause for writer after writer after writer. And I've coached thousands and thousands of writers, and I've seen that when they get this right, it raises. It's like that old saying that a rising tide raises all ships. You get this one right, and it raises your income, it raises your lifestyle, it raises how easy it is to get clients, it raises how clients are attracted to you and want to work with you. It literally is a game changer and changes everything about your business. And here's how powerful it is. Every time I have coached with and consulted with a client or a student, and they're looking at getting clients, every time I have coached with them, if they say to me, I'm really struggling to get clients, then I go back to this one thing, and 90% of the time, well, I don't know if that's the exact statistic, but the vast majority of the time, I see that they've got this one thing wrong, or they need to dial it in just a little bit more. And if they dial it in just a little bit more, then it transforms everything about their ability to get clients and to charge higher fees and to have a better lifestyle, to make more money and spend less time, all those kind of great things that go on when you get fundamentals right. So you got to get this fundamental right. Now, I'm going to give you an insight into how to do this, but then I'm going to send you over to a training program that I put together at jtbportfolio.com. So if you just go over to jtbportfolio.com, you can get an hour, I think it's a little bit more than an hour, it might be a little less. Anyway, you can get about an hour worth of in-depth, focused training on how to get this one thing right and how to convince people to hire you without feeling like, you've got to grovel to them or get tied up in a bunch of frustrating, embarrassing questions or feel uneasy or awkward. Like, clients will want to hire you and treat you as a professional, even if you're just starting out or even if you've only serviced small to medium-sized clients before. So you can go to jtbportfolio.com and get all the details on that particular training. But let me give you a precursor here and show you this. Now, where did I learn this particular thing? Because what I'm about to share with you, I don't hear any other speaking coaches, writing coaches, copywriting coaches. I don't see them talking about it, but it's fundamental. So I actually invented this definition. And the way that I invented it is I went through a series of working with literally hundreds of different marketing directors. I interviewed hundreds of these guys. I asked them what they were looking for in a writer. I also interviewed literally hundreds of writers. And in the conversations, I said, well, how did you approach this client? Or what did you say here? What did you do there? What really moved the needle? And I did this multi-year extensive study on what it really took to get great clients and to build a great business. And as I did this, I saw that there was this pattern. And it really came down to one central thing that moved the needle and that they could make a small little tweak on, and then it launched their career, or they didn't move that needle and they got stuck and they got bogged down and they were frustrated. And on the client side, where the clients were hiring, when writers had this one thing dialed in, I could see that it was easy. The clients saw, oh, I love that writer, and they felt attracted to them in a good, positive business way. They felt attracted to them, and they said, I want to hire that person, and it'll be enjoyable to work with them, and all those kind of great things. And so I came up when I realized that there was one major central thing, but it actually had 4 parts and how to implement it. And so I want to share that thing with what it is. So here it is. So the secret to writing wealth is this. You must, and here it is, I want you to make a note of this. And by the way, again, just in case I forget to mention it one more time, the in-depth understanding of how this works and the psychology behind it and how you connect with clients and get them to want to hire you, it's all over there at that jtbportfolio.com, and it teaches you how to write a perfectly persuasive portfolio and the psychology behind it and what makes it work, including more in-depth stuff on what I'm going to share with you right now. So all you have to do is pick a time. You can sign up for that, jtbportfolio.com. Okay, so here's the great secret. You must, and don't laugh because this is really basic. You'll be like, I heard that so many times before, but stay with me. Okay, so you must choose a fun and profitable niche. Now, you must choose a fun and profitable niche. Now, what's a niche? A niche is an area where you focus in on, and I'm going to give you an insight on how to do this, but it's an area where you focus in on, and it's got to be fun because you have to feel energetic and enthusiastic and happy about doing it every single day because you're going to be writing all the time in this particular industry, in this particular niche. So it's got to be fun for you, and it needs to be profitable. Obviously, it's got to bring in the income that you want it to bring in, the net income. You have to bring in the cash that you want it to bring in to fuel, to pay for the lifestyle that you want. See, I'm not here just to teach you how to be a writer. I'm here to teach you how to have an amazing lifestyle. A lifestyle that you can come and go, you can have flexibility of your hours, you can work forever you want, or whatever it is your particular dream is. I don't know what that is, but whatever that particular dream is, I want you to be able to have it and enjoy it. And I know that it takes time and money. And so you got to have a fun and profitable niche. You got to have a fun and profitable niche. Now, how exactly do you do that? How do you choose a fun and profitable niche? Well, the first step is you have to be able to clearly identify what is a fun and profitable niche. Now, the fun part you can decide on your own. And a lot of people get hung up here. They're like, oh, I am obsessed with underwater basket weaving. I really want to write for the underwater basket weaving industry. I want to write articles and I want to write travel blogs and I want to do all things. And the problem is that underwater basket weaving is not a profitable niche. Or some people say to me, well, I want to do B2B. Well, B2B is profitable and it can be fun, but is that really a niche? Well, let me help you understand my perspective on what a niche is and how to pick one, and then you can answer that question. See, I think that you need to dive in a little bit deeper. Okay, so how do we do this? How do we pick a fun and profitable niche? 4 major parts right here, 4 major parts. The first one is that the niche, the people in the niche, they have to be easy to contact, right? So they're easy to contact. Now, this should be obvious why this is important. If you can't get in touch with them, then you can't get them to hire you, and then you won't be wealthy as a writer. Simple as that. So if you're like, oh, well, I only want to write speeches for or articles for CEOs of Fortune 100 companies. Those guys have, gatekeepers that have gatekeepers that have gatekeepers that have gatekeepers that have assistants to make sure the gatekeepers are doing their job. Like they are challenging to get in touch with. Yeah, but so that kind of throws that out, and that's like, oh, well, maybe you ought to pick a different niche or place to focus, okay? So the first thing is they've got to be easy to contact. Number two, and this is super important, is they need to speak the same jargon. They need to speak the same business or social jargon. They've got to have the same conversation rolling through their head so that when you talk to them, you can be connected with them. Now, there's a huge psychology behind this, but I don't have time to get into it right now, but trust me, you've got to have it so that they are speaking the same business and social jargon. This is why saying I'm going to go to the B2B niche is so difficult for writers to be really profitable and successful, because you in B2B, for example, you could say, well, I'm going to write for a chemical supply company, and then, well, maybe I should write for a technology company. But chemical supply companies and technology companies have totally different wants, needs, objectives, jargon, thoughts, processes. Like, they do all this stuff totally different. And boy, if you're trying to cater to both of them, you're having to jump back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And it's exhausting, and it's hard to focus, and it's hard to build out your marketing materials, and it's hard to resonate with them, and it's hard to convince them that you're an expert, and it's hard to build a reputation like it's bounce, 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 bounce. And it drives you crazy, and it drives your clients crazy, and it pushes them away. It makes it harder for them to hire you so you can become a wealthy writer. So pick a niche that's where people speak all the same jargon, okay? Number three is they use your writing. Now, here's the deal. If they're not buying what you're selling, they will never buy, right? If you say, well, I'm going to go into the alternative health industry. I'm going to write long copy sales letter for the alternative health industry. And the thing that I want to write for that industry is I want to write white papers and data sheets, right? Like, it doesn't work. It's a total disconnect. They don't use that. They're not going to pay you for it. So no matter how passionate you are about it, no matter how great of an idea you think it is, it actually will never happen. You'll never get paid to do that. Now, but if you said, I'm going to write long copy sales letter for the alternative health industry, and that's what you focus in on, those guys use that stuff all the time. I'm going to write emails, or I'm going to write landing pages, or I'm going to write, promotional pieces of one kind or another. Well, they use that stuff all the time. So there's a match between what you're selling and what they're buying. Now, you might think that's so basic, but I cannot tell you how many times my students have gotten this wrong. They're like, oh, I'm really passionate about this kind of writing, and I don't want to do this kind, but I want to go into this industry. And I'm like, that's a mix match. You cannot get hired doing that. And they have to get alignment on this. In fact, you need alignment on all these. Now, the last one here is they have money to spend. They've got money to spend. If you choose a fun and profitable niche, clearly they have to have money to spend. And how do you know if they have money to spend? You know if they have money to spend and there's a lot of different ways, but the easiest indicator is, are they currently hiring writers? And do they use a lot of writing? Articles, blogs, social media posts, long copy sales letters, whatever it is, that they use a bunch of this stuff to promote their business and to generate revenue. And if they do, then they probably hire writers. And if they don't, then they probably don't, okay? So here's the deal. You must choose a fun and profitable niche. And if you focus on these four things, every time that I go into a coaching situation with a student and they're struggling with getting clients, we go right back to this formula. I say, look, can you get in touch with the people you want to have hire you? Do they speak the same business and social jargon? Are they using your kind of writing, the stuff that you're good at, that you want to learn how to be good at, that you're selling? Are they buying that? And do they have money to spend? And if the answer is yes on all four of these, you can dial this in, get total alignment on this. And then look, clients out there, they want to hire writers. They need to hire writers. Writing, content, video, it's the stuff that drives their business. And so they want to, in the right industry, they want to hire writers. It's just, so you're over here wanting clients, they're over here wanting writers. You just have to merge those up. And getting alignment on these four things is a major, fundamental secret to making that happen, to getting hired, and to creating wealth. So I want to encourage you to go over to jtbportfolio.com, go over there, take a look at it, sign up for a spot, go through the training, and I'm telling you, it will give you tons of more in-depth insights into how to do this, how to put your marketing materials together, what I call a perfectly persuasive portfolio. So how do you give them one document that shows them you could do all this, and that you understand who they are, and that you sell the stuff that they're buying, and you convince them to buy? Like, how do you do that? I'll show you all of that stuff in this training, jtbportfolio.com. I think you're going to love it, and give you a bunch of resources. In addition to that, you'll get training on LinkedIn and my best practices for LinkedIn and applying this stuff and your portfolio stuff, and you're getting client secrets to LinkedIn and how to make that easy and effective. So go over there, jtbportfolio.com, check it out, sign up, get rolling with it, and gosh, make this your year to create a ton of wealth as a writer and to fill your life with things that matter most. That's why we're doing this, is so you can have an amazing lifestyle. So go get it. I'll see you on the other side. Bye now.